So we're going to talk about what an MLO is. So if you want to learn that, stay tuned. I'm Jennifer Long.
I'm Chelsea Norston.
And this is MLO Catalyst. And let's see who we got for our mugs today. I've got the Silver Grill Cafe out of Fort Collins. They're known for their cinnamon rolls. This is not a sponsored video. I just like their cinnamon rolls.
My mug is still red.
All right, let's begin.
Today we're going to be talking about what is an MLO.
What is an MLO? So first of all, an MLO is Mortgage Loan Originator. So that's what MLO means. And you know, people call loan originators all kinds of things. Loan officer, originator, like I said, that's pretty much it, I think. What is an MLO? What does an MLO do? An MLO, an originator, is specialized in one particular type of lending activity. They only know about mortgage loans or loans on real estate. That's all they do. They have to have a license and a sponsor with a company. I like to think of mortgage originators as, professionals, just like accountants or attorneys. In fact, attorneys can actually do mortgage origination activities, and they're really an expert in that particular type of lending. So that's what an MLO is.
How is this different from a real estate agent?
Oh, okay. So let's get into that. A real estate agent is a salesperson that sells homes for commission, right? They represent the buyers or the sellers, and they're involved in the real estate transaction. But an MLO is giving financial advice. They're helping you plan for the future. Pretty much part of any wealth building plan is going to include real estate. Well, you're going to want to have an MLO on your team. If you're looking to build up your wealth, you're definitely going to want to have an MLO that you can call on speed dial and ask questions about real estate financing.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, and in fact, we work, MLOs, us originators, we work with tons of real estate agents all over the place. Okay, so that's the what, and the who is an MLO is somebody that is good with people, that is wanting to help people succeed, whether it's giving them advice on the long term, planning to buy a house in the future, or they're working to help them with their financing right now, getting a home. So an MLO is somebody that's just really good at solving problems, explaining complex things like financing, and is just really likes helping people. So there's a little bit of sales involved. Mortgage loan originators are paid based on closings. So, you give away your service, you're giving lots of advice, and you're helping people get information about a mortgage. As we all know, mortgages can be kind of pricey over time because you're paying this thing for 30 years.
Yeah.
So all that interest that you're going to pay over that 30-year time frame, that adds up. So the way that an originator is paid, it's paid based on what the future interest that the customer is going to pay on that mortgage. The mortgage originator basically gets an advance on some of that money, and that's how mortgage originators are paid. They're not paid by the customers. Okay. They're paid by the mortgage companies that they work for, and they're paid out of the future interest that is going to be collected on the transactions that they help with.
That seems complicated.
It is, but the simple way to explain it, and this is how I explain it to my customers, is you don't pay me. My company that I work for, they pay my paycheck. You do not pay my paycheck. So all this that I'm doing for you is completely free. So that's basically, how it works. Okay. Where do loan originators work? Well, they work for banks, they work for mortgage companies, they can be brokers. There's a difference between a mortgage originator as a lender and a mortgage originator as a broker. We'll do a future segment on that. But they can work inside an office. A lot of mortgage originators actually work inside real estate offices.
Oh, interesting.
So that when you walk in, you can actually get your mortgage right there when you go get ready to go out and look at your house. But most of the time, mortgage originators work remotely. They work at home. They work from, remote offices sometimes or in mortgage offices, but they can pretty much do what they need to do from anywhere. So that makes it really convenient. It's like one of those highly desirable types of jobs where it's remote working. So you can stay home.
That's nice.
And work from a laptop. It's fantastic. So like if you live in the north and you want to go south with the snowbirds every winter, you can do that as a mortgage originator. Absolutely. Okay. Why? Why would someone want to be a mortgage originator? Well, this is a big question. And the way I like to answer it is mortgage originators like two things. They like people and they like money. They like to make money and they like to help people. If you put those two things together, you're a perfect candidate for this job. So mortgage originators are compensated well because they don't get paid in advance. They only get paid when they close transactions,
Okay.
right? So that risk, means you get a little bit extra paycheck. You get a little bit more. So it's pretty common for mortgage originators to earn $100,000 a year, but there are mortgage originators that I work with that make much more than that. You can even make $1 million as a mortgage originator. There actually are $1 million earners out there. Yeah, people working out of their homes and making $1 million. You
Working from the beach.
if you are just that ambitious, you can do it. It's a lot of work,
Yeah.
but you can do it. Okay, when? It does take time. It takes time to become a mortgage originator. A mortgage originator has to go through a 20-hour prep course just to be able to take the test. There is a national mortgage originator, MLO, safe test that is administered at the federal level. It's with NMLS. And when you get into the class, they teach you all of the stuff that you need to know about the test. You can prep for the test, take the test. It's a tough test. You get through the test and then you need a sponsor. And after you get a sponsor and they put you through the training, it can take about 6 months altogether to really kind of get your bearings in this industry. There's a lot of terminology that you got to learn. There are a million things that you have to learn in terms of skills and paperwork and loan programs and processes. And that it can take a while. It can definitely take a while to pick all of that up. And if you were even just on a fast track and you were just, somebody was right there feeding you all the information, it's probably still going to take about 6 months.
What's a sponsor? Are we talking like Nike?
No, what we're talking about is like, Cardinal Financial or Rocket Mortgage. These are lenders and they sponsor mortgage loan originators. So you're using their license for the loan programs. Your license belongs to you. That deals with giving you the permission to quote rates, to talk about loan programs, to quote payments, to give financial advice. That requires the license. But at the lender level, they also have to have a license. They have to have a license. And so that's called a sponsor. And then they oversee all the activities that you do.
Okay.
And that's like, mortgage companies, banks, credit unions. They do have licenses, but it's under a different section. But, it's all basically the same thing.
So all those things that you're talking about with the what you're allowed to quote or talk about, or that all kind of falls under those compliance and regulations that we've talked about in other videos.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you can make a mistake and that can definitely have an impact not just on your license, but the license for the lender as well. So they're going to give you a lot of training on how not to break those rules, how not to, even mistakenly, because that's usually how the rules are broken.
Right.
It's an oversight, it's a mistake. So they're going to teach you where all those lines are. But as we've, talked about before, a lot of the extra training on how to talk to people, how to structure loans, what paperwork to get, what to do with the paperwork once you get it, what all the steps are in a loan process, what an underwriter does, what an appraiser does, what a title company does, how do they impact, your job. All of that stuff is important to know, and it's difficult to learn when you're on the job at a lender. So that's another reason why the MLO Catalyst walks you through all of that stuff. So if you're interested in getting more information about all of that, all of those details, all that hands-on training, that's what MLO Catalyst does.
So how would someone find how to even get started as an MLO? Like where do you start?
It's a great
to
question.
even get those resources.
That's why we're here giving information to you guys, because there's so little information out there. Most of the time people in this industry are in the industry because they know somebody that is already in the industry, and they're going to kind of walk them through all of these steps. But it's actually really tough to find information. If you Google it, you're really going to find just very, just general topics, no real specifics. And that's what we're here for, is to answer specific questions and to help with all of those details that are really difficult to find online.
Yeah. Good. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
I hope that answers all your questions, and leave a comment down below if you'd like to know more. I'm happy to, I'm a wealth of information when it comes to the mortgage industry, so feel free to ask.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, see you later.
All right. Bye.